Let's go. Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time it is going to be about Funimation and how ludicrous they're being when it comes to Vic Mignogna. And so, a little bit of a side story first before we actually delve into this proper. I'm going to try to make this as super short as possible. Basically, the original version of this video that I recorded, I got to the editing process, and because I initially recorded this video this morning, but what happened was I got to the editing process, and all of a sudden, Vegas Pro said that the files were corrupted. So I'm hoping that this version of the video isn't corrupted when I put it in the editing. So it's just a funny little situation like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this video proper. All right. So the first bit from this actually comes from Sanpan, and this is actually it's funny because I actually just found out about this by watching one of Yellow Flash's videos on this very subject, and so that's your little shout out there, Yellow Flash. But as you guys can see, there are two voice actors from One Piece here, which is good, which is fine and everything. The only problem is Vic is nowhere to be found on this list, and so evidently he played a role in One Piece. Although considering the fact that I've never even watched a single episode of One Piece because it's just so long, it's ludicrous how long it is, and it's still going. It's like Pokemon. It'll never end. It's crazy. It's crazy how long it's going. But yeah, so evidently they're messing with the credit in terms of giving Vic the credit that he deserves for his role in One Piece. Although again, I don't know what role he played. I just know that from what I've heard, he did play a role in these particular episodes or stuff like that. So, but yeah, so I don't really know whether or not to exactly pin this on Funimation or to pin it on Amazon, because really it could be either of them that made this error. But let's go ahead and get into the next bit. Okay, so this bit actually comes from Dragon Bay Z, and she basically puts the following: OMG, if I wasn't boycotting Funimation, I would have been all over this. Thanks, Funny, for rolling up in your white van, promising me candy. You aren't getting a cent from me now. It hurts my heart too. Thanks for ruining Dragon Ball for me. Now, what she's basically, the reason why she's saying that is because of this. So, Funimation, in case any of you don't know, they recently announced a 30th anniversary collector set of Dragon Ball Z in its original 4:3 aspect ratio. And I don't really know that much about the original series. I got into it by watching Kai, so I wasn't really around when the original series was on, or I wasn't very interested. Mostly because I was like in elementary school when it was first airing. But at least stateside. So what I do know is that the Blu-rays or the remastered editions that Funimation has put out, like the orange brick sets and stuff like that, are cropped into 16:9, which is essentially widescreen. It's what the monitor I have is, and stuff like that. It's 16:9 aspect ratio, which is actually the standard format for most modern-day television sets. But when Dragon Ball Z was first being created, from what I've been able to find, the frames were set up for 4:3 televisions, because that was what it was back in the 90s. In the 90s, everyone had a 4:3 television set. It was like, the square, my cousin Chris and I used to call them box TVs. But, so yeah, as you can see, they're releasing the set to everybody. And here's where it gets dicey. They're essentially limiting, from what I've been able to hear from other creators, they're essentially limiting this to 6,000 copies stateside for like extremely hardcore collectors. I don't consider myself that whatsoever. I'm more of a casual fan. But that's just me. So anyway, what if there aren't 3,000 reservations? Here's where it gets dicey. The set will not be made, and your pre-authorization, essentially meaning your pre-order, will expire. We understand that many fans are perfectly happy with their home video releases of Dragon Ball Z that were previously created, and that's cool with us. But if we can't hit 3,000 reservations, we won't be able to create this collector's set. How will you not be able to create this set? How? Do you not have other revenue streams pulling in from your other shows and your other merchandise? How? It's just... But anyway. And then here's where it kind of hits me. If you use a debit card for pre-authorization, it will be treated like a charge to your account. The funds will be withheld until the set is purchased or the authorization expires. After reservation period. What happens after the reservation period? Following our reservation period, if we meet 3,000 reservations, all fans who reserved a set will be charged the full price of the order. Essentially meaning that what they're asking you to do is they're basically asking you to pre-order a set that might not even get made. Now before any gamers watching this video complain, let me explain. I am not against pre-ordering in terms of a game, because that's pretty much guaranteed to be made. At least by certain companies. Like, for example, Smash Ultimate. I pre-ordered that, and I got it. But, when it comes to stuff like this, stuff that you don't even know is coming, or that will even see the light of day, why would you take their word for it? You can't. But yeah, so then the sets will be created, and you can expect your order to ship before the holidays. Here's where things get dicey for me. The price is way too bloated for its own good, especially for a Blu-ray set. $350. Now, I understand that this is the full series. I get that this is the full series, and they're on Blu-ray discs and everything, and so that ups the production costs. Because formatting through a DVD is a lot less expensive than formatting through a Blu-ray disc. But $350? Are you out of your minds? Are you out of your minds? I'm no finance guy, but I would at least at the highest, I would charge my customers at least maybe $150 to maybe $200 for this. But not $400. That's ludicrous. That's absolutely ludicrous. And then, this is actually the official Funimation site page for this. And so as you can see, it's nearing the 3,000. But, again, this still proves the point. They say here, my bad, they say here that if the reservations don't reach 3,000, the sets aren't going to get made. And so, basically, if it wasn't for this many people signing up, a lot of people basically would have wasted their money. Oh, and then here they have like a little timer counting down to when it's supposed to release, which I guess is cool, but it's just ludicrous. It's just freaking ludicrous. Moving on. Hey there. So this is a little bit of an addendum that I'm adding on to this video. So, I'm gonna make this super brief so that you guys can get back to watching the actual video. So, Toei Animation officially knows. They know about this entire situation. They know about the cons, they know about how the Dragon Ball brand is being treated in the West, and at this point, a lot of people are speculating that they're going to be taking some sort of action. And I have a feeling that action is that they're going to be yanking the dub rights and the dub license from Funny. Because here's the thing, other than Dragon Ball and their other Golden Goose One Piece, Funimation is kind of irrelevant at this point, in terms of selling power and stuff like that. And so, if Toei takes action, that is going to be the end of Funimation. And really, at this point, they have nobody but themselves to blame. Alright, so I created this post last night because I saw one of Supergirl's posts and I decided to comment on it. Well, in my own post anyway. Hashtag I stand with Vic community. Thank you at Supergirl for shedding more light on the Vic situation. Also, Vic unleashed his inner Broly against allegations made by Anime News Network. Very impressive and very telling about the mob mentality that Vic and the whole community is up against. Here's the link to it, and then of course, I actually have this link open above from the previous recording of this video. So, yeah. And then I also found the full link to the entire podcast, and so that's also here as well. Both of these links, the video link as well as the podcast link, are going to be down below, so that anyone who wants to listen can go and do that. I will be doing a video of my own on this very topic within the next few days. Look forward to it soon, guys. God bless. And then I tagged a lot of other content creators in here that are, part of pretty much the Vic Online community. I guess I'm dubbing it. But anyway, dubbing it. We're all part of this community. We can't let these guys like Renfamous keep us down. That's really what I've learned today. They can try to silence us. They can report us to Twitter. They can even try reporting our YouTube accounts and say that we don't know anything. But what they can't do is stop us from standing with Vic Mignogna. Let's keep fighting this fight until it is done, regardless of the outcome. And, that last bit, I feel that last bit is especially for any Kick Vic people watching this video. They, even now, in the midst of an impending lawsuit, these Kick Vic people still think, at least the main accusers like Ron Soye, still think that Vic Mignogna is bluffing. Or something along those lines. I think he said something like he got the papers, but that he's not worried about it whatsoever. And I'm like... But anyway. So, let's go ahead and play this first of all. And then I'll get into the last little bit. Little bit here that I wanted to cover. Hopefully OBS actually picks the audio up this time.
The clip that I saw, you seemed like you were a little dismissive, maybe, of his...
Tell me how. I have no recollection of that.
Well, it's been a long time, but,
You know what, Zach? I would like to ask you,
okay,
as my friend, find the clip.
I will do
and
it.
Send me the link.
I'll do it. I don't want to bring it, you're right. I don't want to bring up anything, where it's just like vague, I remember this, whatever. You're absolutely right.
Well, no, because I want you to know something. I get questions from people all the time, and to be quite honest with you, people, I'm sure, some of whom are trying to trap me and get me to say or do something incriminating.
Okay.
But I have never, ever, condemned or condescended to people who don't believe what I believe.
People of another faith, sure.
And I would really, really love to see the clip you're talking about, because
like I said, it's a vague thing, and it's one of those things where I saw it and I was like, well, it just brought up a few question marks. It wasn't like this guy's hateful or anything. Of course not, but.
Okay, well, I would really appreciate it if you'd find it and send it to me.
I will try my best.
Let me explain why this touches a nerve with me, Zach.
Okay, go ahead.
I get emails from kids that say, I heard that somebody told you they were a Wiccan and you yelled at them and threw a Sharpie in their face and refused to sign their autograph.
Well, that's just silly.
I heard that somebody told you that they were Jewish and you cussed them out and told them that they were going to hell. I heard.
Right, okay.
So, none of these things are even close to being true.
Sure, of course not.
So, when I hear this, I'm like, really? There is a video of me somehow being dismissive or condescending or condemning in some way of somebody of a different faith. I'd like to see it, because
okay. All right.
I don't recall ever being that way to anybody. I go out of my way to be very careful not to do that.
Right. This was years and years ago, and I just all I remember is like, well, it seemed a little mildly dismissive.
But you know what's funny? Can I say something that's funny?
Sure.
You still with me, Justin?
Yeah, I'm here. I loathe to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just want to make sure I didn't lose you guys.
No.
I find this very interesting. There are voice actors that go to conventions and they preach whatever their message is. They yell it from the rooftops. They blare their political beliefs. They blare their sexual beliefs. They yell them. They wear their t-shirts. They bring them up anytime and every time they can. And yet nobody seems to be bothered by that. And yet I go to conventions and I have a Sunday morning panel that you can choose not to attend, and suddenly I'm some sort of a fanatic, some sort of a crazy Jesus freak, you know, who's jamming his religion down people's throats. Do you guys, please tell me you see the hypocrisy in that?
Did you notice how he basically, the guy that was giving the interview with Vic basically froze up as soon as Vic basically, you know, asked him to show him the hypocrisy? I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And then, you know, this whole thing where they say, you know, it was years and years and years ago, that's just a crutch. It's just a crutch. They're not... The fact that they can't name when it happened just showcases all the more the hypocrisy of these people. In fact, there was actually a live stream. I stated it in the previously recorded version of this video. I stated that I didn't know where it came from, but between the time that I found out about the corruption and now, and before I started recording this video, I found out where it came from. It was actually from I think it was from Nick Rikita's latest live stream, if I recall. Let me see here. Yeah, it's it was from Nick's latest live stream. And in fact, Ron claims that they have all of the evidence that they need. And in Nick's live stream, I think he was reviewing Ron's legal document or something like that. And basically, Ron put a link in the document, and Nick actually played it on his stream. Now, I'm gonna show you guys this, and then I'm gonna ask a question directed specifically at the Kick Vic people. So, hold on for a sec.
Hey, you brother mine, how can I expect you to forgive? To the past I shared and shattered your chance to live.
Okay, so we've got that. So okay, so now that that's been taken care of, here's where I address the Kick Vic people. So, tell me, Mr. Soye, Miss Real, Mr. Sabat, Schemmel, Marky, anyone else on the Kick Vic side, who uses this video as evidence of his sexual assaulting of these women. Tell me where the assault is, please. Tell me. I would love for you to point out, in this 18-second clip, I would love for you to point out to me where on earth the assault is. Because it's literally a man singing a song. It's literally a man singing a song. And then on top of that, let me see if I can find it.
And
Ooh, it looks like.
your
Oh my
chance.
gosh! Oh my gosh! It looks like he. Oh my gosh! It looks like he touched her knee or something like that. Oh my god! And she looks like she's going along with it. Oh my goodness! That is such assault. Oh my goodness! No. No, it's not. Especially considering the fact that, as you can see here,
Chance to
she's smiling like crazy. She's smiling like crazy. She's going along with it. It was fully consensual. And if you're claiming that this is an example of assault, you are so blind. You are so blind. I'm Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! If anything, this, if I can give you Kick Vic people any credit at all for any of this, for anything, it's the amount of laughter that has come from your side. Oh my gosh! Okay, I'm calm. Not laughing anymore. The laughter kind of carried on for a little bit. But that's mostly because I'm extremely easily amused. So, oh my gosh. So, yeah, one of the pieces of evidence that they're claiming is of Vic Mignogna singing a song and touching a woman's knee, and her laughing and going along with it. And if that's the only piece of evidence that you have, that you think will win this case for you, you're already dead in the water. Funimation, Toei, Sabbat, Real, Schemmel, Marky. If you honestly believe that that 18-second clip is going to be what saves you in this case, that couldn't be any further from the truth. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy in his 20s who, as one of Renfrom's cronies put it, is a fundy. And as Monica Rial puts it, all of us YouTubers don't know anything about what we're talking about. Well, I got news for you. We do. We do. And you are in for an extremely rude awakening once the discovery process officially begins. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, share it, spread it around. The other content creators such as Hero Hey, Yellow Flash, that Umbrella guy, Super Saiyan Paul, Unreal ENT Network, all those guys, as well as a couple other guys, they're all going to be linked down below so that you guys can go check them out and support them as well. Tell them Mark sent you or DragonFist900. I really don't care what name you use for me on here. But yeah, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, anyway, I will catch you guys later, and until the next video, God bless, and see you later.